You want to know a game practically everyone used to play but barely talks about anymore? That is Bloons TD5. Especially since this used to be a Flash game from the early 2010s, and with the 6th game coming out a couple years ago now, there isn't really much of a reason to talk about this game. But a couple months ago, I was just working on my Angry Birds Epic video I made. On that video, I showed my brother's old iPad where he had the original Flappy Bird on it. And on that same iPad, I had Bloons TD5. And since then, I've been really interested in making a potentially a 100% video on that game, which is what we're going to be doing in today's video. Now, there are tons of versions of Bloons TD5, and I used to primarily be a platinum YouTuber, but I kind of branched off from that theme. But I still love trophy hunting on the side of making these videos, so I figured why the heck not? Let's go ahead and get the platinum trophy to this game, as it was on the PS4 after all. Now, I haven't even played this game since elementary school, which was probably a decade ago by this point, so I was extremely rusty at this game. So because of that, this game took much longer to platinum than it needed to. But let's just get on to the game already. So thanks to how long it's been since I've played this game and not being very great, I figured we'd take things slow, and I started by beating every beginner track on the easiest difficulty. And somehow, I was still losing to these levels, which is probably the saddest thing I've ever said, honestly. Okay, I wasn't necessarily losing on a lot of these, but I was cutting it very close most of the time because of how horrible my strats were, because, well, I mean, just look at it. This game thankfully doesn't take very long to get used to, especially since this game is very repetitive, as literally every level has the same order of balloons that come at you. So the strategy to beat a level carries over to about 90% of the tracks in this game. My favorite starter monkey was easily the engineer, as he only costs 2 times as a dart monkey, so you can place him immediately, and this dude can solo each track till around wave 25 or even 30. After playing this game for a while, probably around 3 hours at this point, I figured it was time to put our big boy pants on and beat a beginner track on hard mode. And I gotta say, I was really awful at this game, as even on the beginner tracks, I was getting absolutely murked, and it took multiple attempts just to beat hard mode right now. Now, for all you out there laughing at me because of how bad I was at this game, cut me some slack please. I haven't played this game in about a decade, and I actually haven't played a tower defense game in general since then, so this was actually kind of new for me. But after some time and finally getting the practice in needed, I was finally able to beat my first track on hard mode. And not only that, I was starting to get to the point where I could beat multiple tracks in hard mode on my very first attempt, so I was actually making some pretty good progress. Now, there's a bit of a problem, you guys. I've been playing this game for about 5 hours now, and I haven't popped a single trophy on this game. Every game on PlayStation that has trophy support of some sorts at least gives you some trophies every now and then within the first hour or two. Even a game like The Last of Us, a game with 0 story-based trophies, gives you at least a couple within the first few hours. But this game takes hours just to pop a single one. And the craziest part is there's 47 trophies required for the platinum, and I can't get a single one in 5 hours. That's probably a pretty bad sign for how long this platinum's gonna take. And you wanna know what? I'm running out of motivation to actually platinum this game already. You know what I need? I need a dopamine boost. And you know what? I think I got just the thing. So there's a trophy for clearing your very first track on impoppable mode in this game. Each difficulty in this game adds more waves to clear, and you have less and less lives in starting money the higher you go up. And each monkey and upgrades cost a little bit more money, and impoppable mode takes this idea to the extreme. It doesn't add more waves this time, but now I only had a single life, meaning not a single balloon can go unpopped. And everything costs more money again, with even less starting money. Now I know what you're all thinking. Cold boner, how can you expect to clear impoppable mode if you can barely clear hard? Oh, come on, you guys. At least have a little faith in me. Okay. This is good. Dude. Hit the balloon! Come on, dude. Come on, there's not that many balloons left, man. Whoa! Well, I hate to say it, but that actually took an entire day to finally clear the first level on impoppable mode. And you want to know what? It wasn't even worth it. You want to know why? Because I decided after I got that trophy, I would actually look through the entire trophy list this time. And there was a trophy where all I had to do was beat any track, any beginner track, anything. And all I had to do was beat it on reverse mode. That is it. Which means you can literally get this trophy within the first 10 minutes of this game if you really wanted to. And just to get one trophy, I spent 6 hours attempting the same level on impoppable mode for one trophy. Just to get one. Which means I did all of that for nothing. Let's just move on. Okay, now, honestly, I'm not even sure what we should move on to, as this game is basically just dozens, if not even over 100 hours of just doing the same bullcrap over and over again. So, there honestly isn't much to say that hasn't already been said, but another thing to mention is pretty much every trophy from this point, or I guess even what we've already been working on, is we're going to get a lot of trophies in the middle of working on these maps. For example, popping 250,000 camo balloons during a game. Or I guess just overall in the lifespan of playing this game. But the next part of this platinum grind was to just clear at least 50 tracks on hard mode, so get 50 gold medals, and by this point I've done about 10, so that's about it. And this does mean I'd have to clear every beginner track, intermediate, and advanced tracks. Now, I don't totally remember just how many advanced courses I would actually have to do, as I'm 90% sure I didn't actually have to do them all, but this is gonna take a while, so let's freaking go. It's over. It's over. Okay, well, it's finally over. We got all 50 gold medals, you guys. And now that that's over with, there's a few things I want to go over. Something pretty weird I noticed is somehow the intermediate tracks are almost always harder than the advanced ones. And no, I'm not kidding. During the medal grind, I actually skipped a few intermediate tracks just because the advanced ones were a lot easier. I don't know if anybody else felt this way too, but man, I'd say at least half of the intermediate tracks were harder than most advanced ones. Whoever made this game and decided the difficulty of each track, fix this, cause this was very misleading, dude. And some may say it's just because I was getting better and better at the game, so I found it easier, which is fair, but I actually skipped a lot of the intermediate tracks to go straight to advanced, so I had the same skill level during this. Well, with all 50 gold medals earned and done, it's time to move on to the next step for this game's platinum trophy, and that's to at least beat every track on the easiest difficulty. Now there's 63 total tracks in this game, we've already beaten 50 of them on hard, which means I only need 13 more bronze medals. But until we do that, as I was grinding for a lot of these gold medals, I actually earned a lot of tokens, which is a currency in this game. And because I got so much, I figured why not, let's go ahead and get some monkey upgrades. As any upgrade you take in this game and you get to the max level, you get a free trophy. So I went ahead and went for starting cash, because why not? Okay, there, we got at max level. Where's my trophy? Okay, well, it's not popping. I'm just gonna assume that it's some sort of glitch or something, so let's just go ahead and move on to getting all the bronze medals. I'm sure it will pop later.
10 seconds later.
Okay, and we got all bronze medals, and there we go. We got another trophy. And it didn't actually take very long. I'd say this only took around 30, maybe 45 minutes, so we're already done with this part. Because we've already gotten all the bronze medals, let's go ahead and check the trophy list and see what we gotta do next. What just happened? What the? It's done. It's over. What the... Now, I'm not really sure what just happened, but I never want to think about impoppable mode ever again. Okay? We're done. Now, thankfully, the next step towards this game's 100% or platinum or whatever you want to call it is not nearly as rough as whatever that was about. And what we have to do is we have to clear co-op mode.
Yep, that's right. The console version of this game provides a brand new game mode where you can play with your friends. Now, I gotta be honest, when it comes to single player based games, chugging in a random 2-player mode never works. I mean, look at Super Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury. 2-player mode isn't usually a good sign for these type of games. But believe it or not, Ninja Kiwi actually managed to pull this one off. The way 2-player mode works is they take the regular beginner and intermediate tracks and splits the void of where you can place monkeys in half. And you and a buddy make your own amount of money and need to protect your side of the track here. Now, in most courses, this doesn't really do a whole lot, honestly. You usually only need one player to do the work. But they made all new, unique tracks made specifically for this game mode where both players have to work together no matter what, like this bank level and the split mountain one, and it's honestly really cool. Now, obviously, I did this by myself, and I gotta be honest, constantly having to switch controllers to play was a little annoying, but that's not really a reason to hate on this mode. I mean, it's literally made for 2 people.
Now, I finally managed to get really good at this game, and that's because I discovered the Bloon chippers, and they made, I'm pretty sure, the impoppable medals pretty easy. They also made going for all the co-op hard mode levels an absolute breeze. So because I've basically became a Bloons TD5 god at this point, I figured why not, I'm gonna stay up all night and we're gonna get all these medals in one go. And that's gonna require a little bit of brain power boosting. So it's been about 15 hours. It's currently 8 in the morning. And we did it, yo. We good. Oh. Well, with co-op said and done, let's go ahead and take a look how many tokens I have so far.
Okay, different cold stoner popping in here. This is slightly weird, but the clip that I was actually about to show, I accidentally deleted. I don't know when I accidentally deleted it, but I was missing the file for this next clip, so, you know, let's just move on as if I actually showed you, okay?
Okay, well, I was able to max out 3 slots of my upgrades, and not a single one of the trophies popped. It's probably about time we go ahead and whip out the old phone and check and see what we're missing. I thought we were done with impoppable mode, but I have to do it 63 times, along with 63 hard mode stuff, 63 silver medals, 63 bronze, and 63 reverse medals, just to get every upgrade in this game. Well, I would do another montage with this massive grind coming up, but I think we've done enough montages for one video. But thankfully, you guys, this actually was not that bad, and that's thanks to the YouTuber SJB. Now, it doesn't really need a shout out since I'm pretty sure everyone who's in the Bloons community knows who this guy is, but he's made videos on literally every single track's impoppable mode, and I didn't want to cheat on all the tracks, so I did as many impoppable medals as I could without a guide, but in any times of need, I just used his videos, and it honestly made the grind pretty easy. However, because I did a lot on my own, there's actually quite a lot of strategies I came up with by myself. And I actually mentioned it briefly on the co-op medal section, and that's the Bloon chipper. Now, my main strategy was to just grow like 5 or 6 farms, or however many I could on each map, and pretty much immediately just go for 1 Bloon chipper, and soon that 1 Bloon chipper will go to 2, to 4, to 6, and the Bloon chipper could pretty much beat every single map all by itself as long as you have like 15, maybe even 20 of them. And it just completely overpowered and broke this game. And again, thanks to SJB's videos, this really wasn't that bad. And also, the most surprising thing about the balloon chipper is that it's extremely cheap. Just getting a super monkey alone will cost like 10 times the cost of a maxed out balloon chipper. And the balloon chipper alone can solo a Zomg. Now, I know the Zomg's name is Zomai, you know, God, but I refuse to say the Lord's name in vain. So, for the rest of this video, we're going to be saying Zomg and not its actual name. Also, it's worth mentioning during the medals grind that I actually got quite a lot of miscellaneous trophies, and I actually have throughout this whole game, but I've been skipping over them. But one of the ones we got here was popping a total of 50 million balloons. That's honestly pretty sad. I honestly don't know how to feel about that one. But even though we've been skipping over pretty much all of them, there's actually a few we're gonna go over at the end of the video. But anyways, you guys, this game is honestly starting to get very bare bones. Pretty much during the rest of the grind for this entire game, I've honestly felt pretty brain dead playing this game. Also, because as I mentioned at the start of the video, this game's very, very repetitive. And I honestly felt like a potato playing this game because all the strategies were the same, and this was honestly starting to get insanely boring. And because of this, there's not really a reason to talk about the tracks because they're all the exact same, and there's just in general not a lot to say, so let's just move on. So after about 8 years, I finally got every medal in the game, including co-op and single player mode. Well, I guess every hard mode medal for co-op, and literally every single medal for single player mode, which means we're done grinding medals, dude, holy crap. But before we move on to the next game mode we have to go over, during this grind, there's actually a second set of currency in this game, and that's cash. Now, I haven't brought this up because the amount of stuff you can do with cash is pretty much unlimited, and there's not actually any trophies for it except for one, and that's upgrading every monkey specialty building to the 4th tier. And because of the amount of cash it takes, there was never any reason to bring it up earlier. But now we've played so much of this game that we have more than enough cash to get every upgrade, so let's go ahead and do so. Well, that trophy didn't pop either. I'm hoping it's not like the tokens one where I somehow missed something and that's why my trophy isn't popping, but I guess since it won't pop right now, let's just move on to the next game mode. And that next game mode, my friends, is challenge mode. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, during the medal grind, I was actually getting pretty sad that I was getting pretty much no trophies, so I actually already finished 5 of the 10 challenges in this game, but let's go ahead and go over all of them right now.
So the first challenge we're gonna go over is the Wizard Lord. This challenge takes the regular wizard and makes it an upgraded 4/4 wizard, which, as you all know, you can only upgrade a monkey 4 times on one side and 2 on the other. This challenge turns the wizard into a totally maxed out beast. The idea here is the wizard is so
Okay, I'm not sure why the trophy popped so late, but I guess that's good news. We actually did not miss anything, but anyways, back to the challenge itself.
Anyway, back to this challenge. The idea is the wizard is so powerful that you need to keep placing monkeys so he can eat them or else you lose. But you also need to get plenty of strong monkeys as the waves get too intense for the wizard to handle despite his strength. This is probably the easiest challenge that we're going to go over. You basically just spam tier 2 banana farms and spam dart monkeys and yellow rockets. The next mission is the full house one, and all you do is clear a basic beginner map, but you're limited to only using 5 monkeys at a time. This is a pretty cool idea, but this idea has actually been used about 100 times so far, which you'll see why later. And another thing, this is a beginner track. You can pretty much beat every beginner track on medium using only 2 or 3 monkeys if you really wanted to. I don't really see the point of this mission, especially when it's something I've already done a million times at this point. Challenge number 3 is Moab Madness, and all you do here is you're given a bunch of money and you make a setup of monkeys capable of destroying 50 Moabs in one go. Wow, how interesting. Challenge number 4, this is another cool one. It takes the same structure of the beginner map from the previous level, but now there's a big old village in the middle with balloons coming at you from 2 sides, and you can't let a single balloon reach the middle to hurt the village. The cool part about this one is each side of the level that the balloons go on, you can't get a monkey that can hit both roads at the same time. So you're forced to create 2 different setups being as budget friendly as possible. It's a neat challenge. Moving on to challenge number 5. This is another pretty boring one. All you do is you have to beat this intermediate course on hard mode, but you can only use 1 of each tower, which I guess is kinda interesting, but this hardly changes the gameplay at all. In fact, I'm 100% sure I've already done this by accident many times already while getting every course medal. Challenge number 6 is next, and it's Covert Pops. The way this challenge works is it takes a regular easy level that we've already played plenty of times at this point, but every balloon is replaced with camo balloons. This one is kinda cool as only a few monkey towers can actually pop camo, but just the fact that it's on easy mode and 1 ninja monkey at a 4-2 upgrade with 1 monkey capable of popping a Moab is literally all you need. The gameplay hasn't changed much, but it's still a pretty cool idea. I just wish it was actually challenging. Alright, let's go on to challenge number 7, and that's fast upgrades. The way this one works is they put you on an expert track, but any monkey you place gets automatically upgraded for completely free after each wave. It's a pretty awesome idea, and the balloons they chose to place are actually pretty hard, but just the fact that all your monkeys get upgraded for free makes you way too overpowered, and in literally 1 minute you've already won the challenge. Next up for challenge number 8 is the short-lived challenge. The way this challenge works is they put you again on medium difficulty on the easiest track in the game, but this time every 10 rounds a monkey has been placed, they get executed, and you gotta replace them. This is again another really cool idea for a challenge, but they make it way too easy by giving you access to banana farms, which makes money no longer an issue, and it's on the easiest track in the whole game and only on medium difficulty. And now we move on to challenge number 9, which is the No Escape challenge. This challenge gives us an entirely brand new and unique track to fight on and goes for an intense 13 rounds, with the 13th having a huge load of zombs. Guess what, you guys? The challenge mode in this game gave us a challenge that's actually challenging. Woo! Well, I gotta say, it's been a while since this game actually had me complete something hard. Lately, I've just been sitting there so bored that I was practically falling asleep while playing this game. But we finally got something of substance for once. Holy crap.
Now it's time for the final challenge, and that is the agents one. And the way this challenge works is obviously you can only use the special agents, but it's on one of the most irritating tracks in the entire game. Now, I was told getting every agent to pro status before doing this challenge makes it an absolute joke, and I had to do it for a trophy anyway, and thanks to the medal grind, I still had plenty of money left. So I just went into a random level, spammed the agents everywhere as much as possible to get them to pro status, which grants me another trophy, yay. Now I gotta be honest, other than the farmer and in very few circumstances the turtle, all the agents in this game are awful. All except the Doomsday Machine, which I didn't bother to use for some reason. And the Doomsday Machines can literally solo a Zomg all on its own, so I'm not sure why I didn't bother to use it. But anyway, because of how much money I had and knowing how bad they were, I probably spent around 10,000 cash on agents alone just to make sure that I could beat this track no matter what, and so that I could scroll on Instagram while the game did everything for me. And that also means we now finished every challenge for 2 trophies, oh baby! Now I gotta be honest, you guys, other than the No Escape and the Wizard Lord challenge mission, the challenge mode was honestly pretty mediocre. All the challenges except No Escape felt like they were made for 5-year-olds, as all of them are way too easy and you can clear them about 3 minutes with basic strategies. While it was nice having something else to do after replaying the same tracks 300 times, it honestly didn't feel that different. Well, now we've gotten every single medal in single player mode and cleared all the challenges. You may be thinking that we've only played this game for about 50 hours now, but if you're thinking that, you're wrong. We've actually played this game for 90 hours now. And you gotta be honest, after 90 hours, it's gotta be over soon. It's just gotta be, okay? There's no way after 90 hours we're not close to the finish line here. Well, let's take a look at what we have to do next. The last challenge. Oh, it's the last one. It's the last one, man. We did it. All 250 random missions. They're done. It's over. Well, you guys, now that the random missions grind is finally over, I now had a whopping 150 hours in this game. Now, yeah, the 60-hour grind for all the random missions is nothing in comparison to the previous 90, but trust me when I say, when you're already 100 hours deep into this game, every hour feels like an entire year of your life wasted, man. But since it's over, I might as well give you guys some details on what the random missions even are. Each time you enter the random missions mode the game gives you a random selection of 9 missions to choose from and complete. And literally all it is you replay the same 7 tracks 250 times. Yes, the same 7 tracks 250 times. And there's only 7 tracks. Only 7 tracks that we're gonna replay over and over and over and over and over again. But to make matters worse, the random missions aren't even anything to freak out about. Literally all it is a track just has random monkeys you can't use. It's just replaying a track on medium mode, hard mode, maybe only one wave, but you can only use a specific selection of monkeys, and that's all it is. It's just having a limited set of monkeys to use 250 times. But you guys saw me pop the trophy, and while it may not seem like I talked about a whole lot, that's because I kind of already described everything that happens. There's not really anything of substance in this mode. But with that being said, the grind is finally coming to a close. So, do you guys remember the tokens we talked about earlier? Well, there's actually an exploit to make the upgrades even easier, so that's what we're going to be going over right now. Now, the reason we're going to be using an exploit to get all the token upgrades is because there's so many tokens you need to get for upgrades in this game, it would seriously add another 100 hours to this game's grind. So, I'm doing myself a favor by doing this glitch. Now, what this exploit does is it basically gives you infinite tokens, but there is an issue. The exploit has been patched. So now you can no longer use infinite tokens, but believe it or not, I think I may have a solution.
So rather than doing an exploit to use as many tokens as you want to get all upgrades, I actually took my save file and sent it into the cloud on my PS5, and I'd have to go into the game, max out one single upgrade, go into a level and wait for the trophy to pop. Right after doing so, I leave the game, go and take my previous save from the cloud where I had all my tokens, max out the other ability and wait for that trophy to pop, rinse and repeat. So while they may have patched the exploit, there was still a workaround which definitely took a bit longer to do, but it's better than farming tokens for another 100 hours, that's for sure.
And after all of that, the grind still isn't over. We still have 2 trophies to get, and that's for destroying 1,000 zombs and popping 250,000 lead balloons. Now, this may seem easy, but trust me when I say, if I didn't use a cheese strat for these 2 trophies as well, this could have potentially added another 50 hours to this grind. But anyway, for the zombie trophy, all I did was I hit it on free play mode and played till around wave 130 and completely overkilled it, because in free play mode, once you get to that point, you basically just spam a buttload of zombs, so I just overkilled it and eventually got the trophy after about 30 minutes. But now we have the lead trophy, and yes, lead balloons are common in this game, but the most amount of leads you're gonna pop in one wave in this game is 30. We gotta pop 250,000 of these things. And because of that, if you were to do this legit, this could take another 50 to 100 hours to pop the remaining lead balloons needed for the trophy. So, we got an exploit to do that will make this grind a little less painful.
In order to pop all these leads in no time, we got to go back to the Wizard Lord challenge again, and while I'm here, I had to use the guide to follow very specific monkey levels and placements so that when we get to wave 14, this game sends a whole bunch of regenerating lead balloons at us. Now, we had to take this wave and set up a portion of monkeys that would pop all the lead balloons, but force the balloons back to the start of the map and make the balloons slow so they regenerate back to leads, but also multiply so we can pop lead balloons faster and faster, but the track will never actually end. Setting up the strat took a long time due to how RNG based it is to get it right. You need your monkeys to hit the perfect amount of balloons and push the perfect amount back without popping every balloon, and put it in the right cycle to keep this going. Now obviously the strategy is actually very stable, as if you get the balloons to multiply and you got the right monkeys down, the setup is so good that your monkeys will be able to handle the balloons no matter what, and so you can go, get up, and go do something else while the game just sits here playing all day. And after about 2 hours of waiting, I finished the wave and...
After all that, we still didn't get the lead trophy. It's still not over. We still have a longer grind to go over. Oh, I forget sometimes the trophies in this game are really delayed, but I guess that means we're done. And that was all we had left. And now we have the Bloons TD5 Platinum Trophy. It's finally over. And with that, you guys, that was the Bloons TD5 100% experience. Probably the most brain-dead, boring, mind-numbing experience I have ever gone through. I need some air.